Welcome to Discovery! Today it is the best metal albums of May 2022. We had a pretty good month in metal for May. We had some, all genre wise, it's been a pretty solid month for metalcore, for black metal, for death metal as well, and even progressive metal. Well, I just got home from work, and it's a funny story that I have to tell you guys that as being a taxi driver, there's so many funny stories I can tell you. But anyway, I'm picking up these customers at McDonald's. Picking up, there were 4 blokes, and they said, "Hey mate, let's go to the drive-thru." So we went to the drive-thru, and the workers wouldn't serve us. I was asking, why won't you serve us? He said, "Well, because one of your customers decided to rub his dong on my car." I went, "What? Are you serious?" I said to one of the customers, "Why did you rub your dick on his car?" And he said, "Oh mate, I was bored, I was waiting for the taxi." I said, "You only had to wait fucking 10 minutes. I mean, what the hell?" Anyway, they wouldn't serve us. So that was an exciting, adventurous night that I had tonight. Anyway, after work, and I'm ready to give you my 10 favorite metal albums of May 2022. Okay, so before I start, pop your favorite albums down below and let's get on with it. So coming at number 10 is Holofront and the album The Price of Dreaming. This is a pretty good album by Holofront. Now in case you don't know, Holofront are a metalcore band, and they produced a pretty good album. Some really interesting genty moments along with unpredictable breakdowns. There's some really damaging guitar riffs, and not to mention percussion is thunderous at times. There's some really harsh aggressive vocals mixed with the nice cleaner vocals as well. Some really catchy choruses that will get stuck in your head. Overall, it's a solid metalcore album. It's one of the better metalcore albums of the year, up to The Wolves at the Gate and Bad Omens. If I could compare Holofront to another metalcore band, it would be none other than Polaris. Polaris very similar to Holofront. The Price of Dreaming incorporates metalcore elements mixed with some deathcore-ish moments. It's like Heritage is a pretty fucking heavy song, along with Self-Sabotage. Comatose is a fucking banger, and overall there's some interesting guitar solos. The Price of Dreaming has some really interesting riffages and a lot of chugs that are sort of generic, but they really work over the whole context. I love the lyrics as well. It's a pretty solid album for what it is. Check out Holofront if you actually like metalcore. The Price of Dreaming sits here. So coming at number 9 is the Amsterdam Red Light District and the album Trapped. I'm trying to keep control. Make it up as I go. I can't bring it back. So this is a metalcore album that really took me by surprise. Some interesting collaborations with Matt Bastard, Skip the Use, Drew York and Straight from the Path. And I do love how there are electronic elements throughout this LP, very similar to bands like Northland. Trapped has some really energetic vocals on it, mixed with some punkish hardcore vibes as well. But overall, this is a very fun fucking album with a fucking band name, the Amsterdam Red Light District. You can tell we're in for a pretty good time. The riffs on this are pretty good. And again, of course, you get some breakdowns, which you expect from metalcore, and there are some generic moments, but they really work very similar to Holofront. Really enjoy the vocals mixed with also the clean vocals as well, but it is a pretty solid LP for what it is. Trapped is sitting at number 9. Okay, next up is James Labrie, Beautiful Shade of Grey. It hit me like a brick. I never saw it coming. Now, I am torn with this album, to be honest. It is not metal per se, it's more of a rock. So, I had to put James Labrie Beautiful Shade of Grey just because this album is a grower. And this is one of James Labrie's weakest albums in my opinion, just because it's nowhere near as heavy as the other albums where they incorporate death metal vocals. If you listen to James Labrie's previous albums, such as Permanent Residence, I Will Not Break, and Impulse, you will notice that there are harsh and aggressive vocals. You will notice that it's more melodic death metal than anything, mixed with James Labrie's cleaner vocals. Yeah, this is more of a ballady album, and there's some pretty good songs as well. So like Devil and Drag, especially that riff on it, is pretty catchy. The melodies are there. Give and Take, Sunset Ruins, a pretty good song. There are some interesting songs overall, have a southern twang such as Ramble On. There are some ballady songs such as Am I Right? This is a pretty subtle album by James Labrie in my opinion. There are some cool guitar moments, there are less progressive metal elements on this, and more focusing on highlighting James Labrie's vocals on this. Yeah, James Labrie sounds actually pretty good. It's nearly as good as A View from the Top of the World, Dream Theater's latest album. This album is a grower, it's a grower, and it will grow on you. So yeah, Beautiful Shade of Grey deserves to be in the best albums of May. Let's move on. Okay, so next up is Famyne, The Ground Below.
Greed and dreams are pacified.
This overall is a very good album. If you like a band such as God Rhythm, Black Sabbath, and they're definitely being inspired by Black Sabbath. There are mainly clean vocals on this, but the doomy laden atmosphere and the doomy laden guitar riffs along with the instrumentals are fucking phenomenal on this. The melodies are there that really do get stuck in your head, and not to mention the percussion is thunderous at times. There are some great elements of doom metal and even just progressive metal, or some traditional heavy metal elements. The vocals are outstanding, sounding very similar to like Ozzy Osbourne. The Ground Below certainly has tone that a lot of bands can't really execute. And I think The Ground Below is a solid fucking album. It is melodic doom done right, and it is a fucking banger. So go check out The Ground Below if you haven't already. Okay, so Aara released another album this year. It is none other than Treehead to Hemera. This is more of a cinematic, theatrical album in my opinion. It's very atmospheric, and yes, we're talking about that Aara is black metal. And yeah, this is a solid black metal album for what it is. The vocals are incredibly harsh and aggressive, and I love the high shrieks, along with the tremolo picking and the unpredictable bombastic blast beats you are getting. Just interesting, beautiful songwriting you're getting, with each song averaging about 7 minutes. Nothing lasts below 6 minutes on this. And Adonia's Adelagian is an incredible song, along with Phantasmagoria as well. And yeah, this is a fantastic atmospheric cinematic album, cinematic black metal album that will make your hairs curl. It will make your balls curl up into your urethra. This is a fantastic album for what it is. It is one of the best black metal albums of the year at the moment. And yeah, I thought it was solid as anything. So yeah, Treehead Hemera is a must listen if you enjoy black metal. Okay, so next up is an album I have mentioned on Discovery. It's none other than Primitive Man and the album Insurmountable. So, this is a pretty good album by Primitive Man. Definitely not one of the best in my opinion, just because I have a little pet hate with the song Boiled, which is basically just a noise track, which runs about 7 minutes, and I feel like it doesn't need to be fucking 7 minutes long. But overall, this album crushes hard. The riffs are crushingly heavy. It's a pretty fucking heavy album with the vocals so guttural and cavernous in tone. I love the downstream guitars, tone of the snare, the tone of the tom, the production's fantastic, and it is just a crushingly atmospheric, heavy fucking album. There's really nothing much I can say about this album, to be honest. This is just a sludgy, doomy album. Yes, it's slow, yes, it's doomy, and yes, it's fucking heavy. So if you haven't checked out Primitive Man Insurmountable, go check it out. Primitive Man had this really sludgy atmosphere, and those riffs are just so damn crushing and haunting. Yes, this is a pretty haunting album, but I will guarantee once you get past the noisy part, you're gonna fucking well love it. This life It's one of the best Primitive Man songs in my opinion, just the songwriting, and also there are some melodies on this. But from then you got Boil, which is just a noise track. You got Cage Intimacy and Quiet, which are fucking phenomenal in my opinion. So yeah, there's a little bit of a love and hate relationship for me with Primitive Man Insurmountable just because of Boiled. But yeah, go check it out. Okay, so next up is Septicflesh Modern Primitive.
And dusk its flames to ground me.
Yes, this is a very good album by Septicflesh, and I fucking enjoy it. I love how melodic it is, beautiful symphonic elements that build throughout this album, along with his vocals that are very harsh and guttural at times. This at times reminds me of something out of like Flesh God Apocalypse. Although I'm not a really big fan of Septicflesh, this album has made me a big fan of Septicflesh, and I really am enjoying their past work as well. The Collector is just a fucking banger. Got songs like Coming Storm, Neuromancer, the symphonic elements on that are just amazing. The riffs on Modern Primitives, the sound title track, along with A Dreadful Moose. Yes, it's a pretty good straightforward symphonic death metal that I really do enjoy. And I am enjoying Septicflesh's whole discography now. I'm loving the older Septicflesh stuff when they were really doomy and gloomy, with more like death doom, you could say. But yeah, Modern Primitive is fantastic. Great solos on this. It's great production. Just a really enjoyable album. Okay, so next up is, well, unexpected. It's Moontooth, Phototroph.
You can lay it down. You can lay it down. You can lay it down.
I'll tell you what, this is a great album. It really is. I love it. I love how it's alternative metal, you could say. This reminds me of a heavier Foo Fighters. It does. I love it. I love the riffs on this. I love how catchy it is. How catchy is I Revere, All My Isle, and you got Casey. What a fucking, how could you say Casey in a song? Well, Moontooth do, and they do it so damn good. I love the choruses on this. Also love Deathwish Blues. Deathwish Blues is such a good bluesy song. Grip on the Ridge, fucking phenomenal album this is, and technical, progressive it is at times. There are time signatures that really throw the listener off guard, but yeah, this is a bang out, fantastic alternative metal album. It's a great album, it really is, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. The vocals are really clean, they are angelic at times, and it really works. Okay, coming up next is another atmospheric black metal album. We're talking about Askeesi and the album Genetic Grief. Alright, so what can I say about this album? This is a journey. It is a journey about grief. And this album has happier melodies at the start of it, but my god, it gets so damn fucking dark. This album gets so damn dark and so damn sad. This LP runs about an hour and 23 minutes. And just a beautiful layering atmosphere. The layering production as well is phenomenal, and it is definitely one of the best atmospheric black metal albums of the year. Yes, a lot of people aren't talking about this LP, but I guarantee you, if you fucking like atmospheric black metal and a fucking concept to your black metal, check out Askeesi. Check it out, because it is a fucking fantastic LP that I really can't stop listening to. Where Do My Ravens Fly? His vocals on that are just so damn shrieky and aggressive. He also incorporates some death metal vocals as well. You get some beautiful Get some beautiful instrumentals, get some really nice guitar moments, get some really cool riffs, but the atmospheric fucking layering on this is fucking phenomenal. Check out Askeesi Genetic Grief if you haven't already, because as it gets darker and more depressing in the lyrics, the fucking album gets a lot more lighter. Like the first half of the album is just fantastic, atmospheric, aggressive black metal with some beautiful synths, ambiency on it, and you get Genetic Grief. The self-titled track is like fucking 18 minutes long. And yeah, again, it's quite a journey of a ride. There are some brief breaks of heavy moments along with softer moments, beautiful acoustic moments. This album has it all. It is a fucking phenomenal black metal album of this year. Go check it out. Go check out Askeesi Genetic Grief. Ladies and gentlemen, my number one album of May 2022 is none other than
My Name is Legion.
It is Belial and their album Rapture. I'll tell you what a fantastic black metal album. Rapture is up there to be probably my favorite black metal album of the year. I fucking love it. You would have thought Belial be in my other video. Blue Dale Snort's brand new album was in my other video, and this is in the best metal albums of May video, and it's for a reason. It is one of the best metal albums of the year. I fucking love it. Belial hasn't released an album since 14 years ago. 14 years later, they are better than ever. This is probably up there to be, if I had to do a Belial album ranking, I would probably place this up to third. I think it's up there with Unholy Crusade and even Enter the Moonlight Gate. It's really up there. Like, it is high up in my ranking, and I fucking love it. Just great songs like Legion, On a Throne of Souls, got Belial, All Gods, Belial. These vocals are just fantastic. Infinite Darkness and Death, Lamentations, Destruction, just heavy, hard-hitting riffs on this. It's just thunderous percussion on this. I love it. Production's fantastic. A lot of people may complain it might be a little bit too clean, but I fucking love it. I love the Belial sound, and fuck me, this band is absolutely incredible. And I think it's one of the best metal albums of the year at the moment. Yes, this is going to make it my list. Yes, this is going to be pretty fucking high. I want to get the CD on this. I want to get the CD of this. That's how excited I am. The only album that will probably beat it is probably Trillium's brand new album, which will be released like fucking next month, which I'm so damn excited. And don't get me wrong, I've heard Temple of Void's brand new album today as well, which is overall really surprising. It's a very surprising album, because who would have thought there would be a fucking ballad by them? Dissolution. Oh my god. I will probably discuss more about Temple of Void in the next Discovery episode, which will be this week. But yeah, fuck me, Belial's brand new album Rapture is a fucking banger. So yeah, lesson learnt today: when you're waiting for a taxi, standing at McDonald's, and you're bored and you decide to rub your dick on a car, just don't do it, because you won't get served in the drive-thru. And I will see you in the next one.